नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यान ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudevasutam devam kansachanuramardanam devaki paramanandam Krishnam vande jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 13th Adhyay of Kshetradnya Vibhag Yoga, the discrimination of the field and the knower of the field. And what is this field? Shri Krishna has told us this field is nothing but this body which is comprising of the 24 elements. The 24 elements, just like what the Sankhya school of philosophy talks about. That this body has 24 categories or principles which are technically known as tattvas. This body is comprised of those 24 tattva. And Sri Krishna told us that Mahabhutanya hankaro buddhir avyaktamevacha indriyani dashaikam cha panchachendriya gocharaha. That the 5 cosmic elements, earth, fire, water, air, the space, and buddhi, the intellect, the unmanifest principle, the unmanifest tattva of avyakta, of this great being, part of the great being who is dwelling inside, the indweller, the avyakta, and indriyani dashaikam cha, the 10 organs. The 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas. All these indriyas put together, 10 in numbers, and then 5 objects for these senses to go and hug, to go and meet, to go and embrace. The 5 sense objects. And who is making these 5 sense objects gochara? Who is able to make these sense organs perceive the sense objects? The mind. That is the 24th principle. So these 24 tattvas, they have formed, they have constituted this kshetra. And various modifications. The mind is working through various modifications. And that also Sri Krishna has briefly told us what are those modifications. That ichcha dvesha sukham sanghat chetana dhrutihi. The desire, the dvesha, hatred, the ill feeling basically. Dvesha is ill feeling for anybody, any object or any person or any being. Desires, the ill feelings, and sukham dukkham. We are always embroiled in that pair of opposites of sukha and dukkha, of the happiness and unhappiness, of pleasure and pain, of joy and sorrow. Sanghat chetanaha dhrutihi. And all these body parts cumulatively in aggregate, Sanghat is in aggregate, all these 24 tattvas in aggregate, they work towards giving us that chetana, that consciousness. And we also have that something, some modification called as dhrutihi. Dhrutihi is that the firmness to retain this body. as we have seen in the while discussing the last shloka, dhriti, how we want to preserve this body, that determination, that firmness to somehow prolong the liveliness of this body. These are all the modifications that are brought in this body, in this kshetra. And Sri Krishna told that etat kshetram samasena savikaram udharutam. This I have told you in brief about this kshetra, how it is constituted and what are its different modifications through external factors. And that has just been briefly described to you. That is what Sri Krishna says. Now, Sri Krishna is going to further tell us something more about this kshetra. Ultimate objective is we should have complete knowledge of this kshetra and the Kshetradnya. The Kshetradnya who has brought out this kshetra, who has made this kshetra come into being, come into existence. That is the ultimate knowledge. Now, for that, there are some basic preliminary requirements, the prerequisites as we say. If we have to go to college, we have to first complete schooling, isn't it? 10 plus 2. During our times, it was 11. 11 plus 3 plus 3. So, schooling after we complete, then we go to college. In the same way, on this path of spirituality, this body should have certain qualifications in order to move forward, move ahead towards our final destination of being one with the Kshetradnya. And what are those the qualifications that now Sri Krishna is going to elaborate? What are those different qualifications that this kshetra should possess? Unless and until the kshetra possesses those basic requirements, there is no evolution as such. There is no evolution to the higher state, to the higher level. And let us start with this seventh shloka, where Sri Krishna is explaining these qualities, these basic qualifications which are required in this kshetra, in this body. Seventh shlok of the 13th adhyaya. amānitvamadambhitvamahiṃsā kṣāntirārjavam ācāryopāsanaṃ śaucaṃ sthairyamātmavinigrahaḥ. Let us now start listing down all these basic qualifications which are required for the evolution of this being, of this kshetra, of this body from a lower being to a higher illumined being, enlightened being. Now what are these? Amānitvam. Amānitvam means humility. We should be humble. We should be as humble as the blade of grass. A little wind and the grass bows down. Amānitvam. Humility. Adambhitvam. Adambhitvam is unpretentiousness. No hi-fi, no high airs, no blabbering about oneself. Adambhitvam. Then ahimsa. Ahimsa is non-injury. We should not injure anyone. Not injure anyone in a sense, not physical injury, but even do not inflict mental injury, emotional injury. Never get into hurting anybody's feelings. Forget about hurting anybody physically. Not even the feelings, not even the emotions. That is the real meaning of ahimsa. We normally consider ahimsa means we should not kill anybody, we should not hit anybody, we should not bring any injury to anybody. Injury in a sense, injury in terms of physical injury, bodily injury, mental injury, emotional injury. No ahimsa. Then ksāntirārjavam. Ksāntirārjavam is the forgiveness. Kshanti is forgiveness, forbearance. Have the forgiving attitude. There is a beautiful that these days going on the internet. Forget and forgive. The best formula. Forget and forgive. So this kshantihi, the forgiveness, and ācāryopāsanaṃ. Ācāryopāsanaṃ is uprightness, being true to your principles, being true to your way of conduct, uprightness. ācāryopāsanaṃ, service to the Guru. And who is the Guru? From wherever we get some learning is our Guru. And always have a respectful, have a reverential attitude towards those from whom we learn something. ācāryopāsanaṃ, serve the Guru. śaucaṃ, purity. Purity, external and internal. It is not just, taking a bath 2 times a day or 3 times a day and cleaning the body vigorously, applying soap and all that. No, that is just the physical purity. What Krishna wants, śaucaṃ, is even the internal purity. Purity in terms of our thoughts, our words, and also our actions. That is the real purity, śaucaṃ. Then, sthairyaṃ, the steadfastness, the stability, how balanced we are. How balanced we are in contrary situations. How balanced we are in situations which are not under our control, which are not doing good to us. How much sthir we are, stharyam. That kind of steadiness, the balanced attitude. Then, ācāryopāsanaṃ. That is the biggest qualification required to climb this ladder of going towards illumination. Ācāryopāsanaṃ, the self-control. How are we managing ourselves in this world filled with temptations to enjoy the material enjoyments? How we are able to control? Vinigrahaḥ, that self, ātmavinigrahaḥ, that self-control. Don't control others. The vinigraha is not for others. The vinigraha is for my own self. So this is what Krishna wants us to inculcate. This is what Krishna wants us to get into our basic personality, basic character, and as a quality of this kshetra, of this body as such. That humility, modesty, non-injury, forbearance and forgiveness, uprightness, service of the teacher, reverence to the teacher, purity, steadfastness, self-control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Already Krishna wants us to imbibe these 9 qualities. Sorry, these 9 basic qualifications we should possess. And these qualifications we should not possess just for the name's sake. We should really imbibe it in our character. We should imbibe it in our personality. Being humble, being polite, being non-injurious. We must always take care all the time that we don't hurt anyone. We don't hurt anyone's feelings. And forgiveness. Even if someone does wrong to us, if someone is injuring us, let us not take an offense of it. Let us have the forgiving nature. Let us have that the attitude of forbearance, the kshantihi, what Sri Krishna wants us. And of course, the ācāryopāsanaṃ. Ācāryopāsanaṃ is that uprightness. Come what may, I will not deviate from the principles that I have chosen for myself. That should be the strength. And also that sthairya, that kind of steadiness, that kind of balanced nature that we must possess. Service to teacher. From wherever we learn anything, let us be humble and polite and reverential towards that person and serve them to the best of our abilities. Purity, the internal and external. And ātmavinigrahaḥ, self-control. So this is what Sri Krishna wants all of us. Sri Krishna wants Arjuna to Arjuna already has all these qualities. It is just that he has, the veil of ignorance has made him dull in appreciating those qualities. Therefore, Sri Krishna is once again refreshing his inner abilities and telling him what a Kshetra should know about oneself, what a Kshetra should possess to go to a higher level of knowing the Kshetradnya. Now, in this 7th Shloka, Krishna has just enumerated simple 9 qualities. If we stick to even one of these qualities, that will bring in tremendous change in our attitude, tremendous change in our personality, tremendous change in our character. And that single change will automatically bring out all the other 8 changes that Krishna wants us to imbibe. So that is the 7th Shloka, a beautiful teaching of Sri Krishna of how we should behave in this particular field of activity, how this body should behave. And then Sri Krishna is going to elaborate further on what is required out of such a person, what is required out of such a Kshetra. So that we will see as we go by reading the next verses, next shlokas. Till then, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.